chair yoga. This will be a seated practice and a little bit shorter, but some props you may need today are blocks, and this is only if your feet don't press into the floor all the way. And so if you notice that the heels lift up a little bit, you'll just want to place either the blocks or if you have books underneath your feet, just to give yourself a little bit more stability into the floor. And then another optional prop that we might use is a strap. So you may or may not need it, but if you have a strap just to have nearby, that would be great. You might also use a scarf or a towel, just something to help reach for your feet a little bit more. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So pressing our feet a little bit deeper into the earth, allowing the spine to lift up, and then shoulders come up towards the ears, and sensing what it would feel like to just let them come down, allowing them to relax. Again, if the feet aren't touching the floor all the way, just grab those blocks or those books, placing them underneath the feet for stability. And we'll spend a few moments here just getting centered, allowing the eyes to close or taking a soft gaze towards the floor. And without trying to change it or control it, noticing the natural breath. Becoming aware of the inhales as they come in through the nose. Aware of the exhales as they leave the body. And maybe sensing into how or where we feel the breath in the body. If we're getting a little distracted, just knowing that that's normal. And trying to come back into the breath. Lengthening the spine just a tad, releasing the right ear towards the right shoulder, an option to either keep the eyes closed or allowing them to flutter open. We may want to place the hand on top of the head just for a little bit more of a stretch, but if that doesn't feel good on your neck, you can go ahead and release the hand back down towards the knee. Releasing the hand, head comes back to center. Again, just a little lift through the spine. And then opposite side, releasing the ear down. Try to keep the shoulders balanced. If you place your hand on top of the head on the other side, trying to do so on this side. And just noticing where you feel that in the neck. Releasing the hand, head comes back to center. Bringing the hands towards the shoulders, still sitting up nice and tall, and then just rotating the elbows forward, one elbow and then the other, working on our range of motion a little bit, warming up the shoulders, and then taking the circles in the opposite direction, maybe starting with smaller circles, and then just letting the circles get larger and larger, maybe just noticing where you sunset again in the body. Releasing the hands down, coming more towards the front of the chair if you're not already there. Feet pressed firmly into the floor or your blocks. Hands towards the knees and into our seated cat-cows. So our knees and feet are about hip distance apart. As we inhale, bring the heart forward and the shoulders back, opening up the chest. As you exhale, tilt the pelvis back, round in the upper back, and bring the chin towards the chest. So every inhale coming forward, opening up the heart. Every exhale, tilting back, rounding in the upper back. And so taking this at your own breath, you don't need to synchronize with me, but just every inhale coming forward, opening the heart. Exhale, rounding, tilting the pelvis back, chin towards chest. A little bit of space to do that at your own breath. And then coming back to center. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders released down. As we inhale, lifting the right knee in towards chest and interlace the fingers underneath the bottom of the leg. We'll just take a few circles with the ankle. And then taking the circles in the opposite direction. Releasing the foot down. Let's get that on the opposite side, lifting the knee up. Maybe taking some circles inward first. And then reversing the circles. Releasing the hands, releasing the foot down. Let's go ahead and take our feet out just a little bit wider, adjusting your blocks or books if you need them, giving yourself a little bit of space between your back and the back of the chair. Release the hands down towards the side body. Rotate the palms out as you inhale, arms come up overhead. Right hand grabs left wrist and reach over towards the right hand side, maybe gazing towards the sky. And as we stay here, really press down into the feet. Inhale back to center, opposite side, letting the hand reach for the wrist, and then reaching over towards the opposite direction. Noticing the rest of the body, pressing down into the feet, keeping the knees above the ankles. As we inhale back to center, separate the hands, allowing the palms to face each other. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, reach back, coming into a mini back bend. As we inhale back to center, take the arms out wide, gently fold forward at the waist. And as we come into our forward fold, you can allow the hands to release down. Allow the neck to also release. As you inhale, reverse a swan dive, reaching all the way up towards the sky. And exhale, allowing the hands to come down into prayer. Release the hands down, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, reach back, mini back bend. Inhale to center. Exhale, swan dive down. And if the hands can't touch the floor, that's okay. You can just leave the hands on top of the legs or even on the thighs, but try to allow the neck to release down. Next, inhale, reversing a swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands into prayer. We're going to take that one more time. Hands release down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, back to center in our upward salute. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. A little extra there. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse our swan dive up towards the sky. And exhale, allowing the hands to come into prayer. So we'll release our hands down towards the side body and then rotate towards the right hand side of your chair. If feet were on top of blocks, you'll want to move the blocks to underneath the feet. And for this one, we want our feet, again, hip distance apart, trying to stack the knees above the ankles, sitting up nice and tall. As we inhale, take the arms up overhead, rotate at the waist, hands come on top of the chair, and then take the gaze over the back shoulder. On the exhale, coming back to center, releasing the hands down towards the legs, and coming a little bit more towards the front of the chair. Stepping the toes back. And so the heel will be lifted, the toes are pressed down, knee is pointing down, and my leg is pretty stretched far back. But if that's too far, you can always just bring the knee a little bit closer towards you As long as you feel a stretch in the hips, you're doing great. As we inhale, taking arms up overhead. Holding here for a few breaths. An option to stay here, or we can lift through the spine, rotate at the waist, hands come on top of the chair, and again, rotating towards the back of the chair. As we exhale, back to center, bringing the feet together. Rotate towards the opposite side, pressing the feet into the earth about hip distance apart, readjusting if you have blocks underneath the feet. Inhale, really reach the arms up towards the sky, feeling the stretch in your spine. Lengthen through the body, and then rotate at the waist. Hands come on top of the chair, taking the gaze over the back shoulder. On the next exhale, coming back to center. Preparing for our lunge, so just making sure we're a little bit more towards the front of the chair. As long as you feel stable, you're doing great. Stepping the foot all the way back, as far back as we can go, and then just try to keep the front knee above the ankle. Again, if reaching back is too far, you can bring the knee a little closer to you as long as you feel a nice stretch in the hips, and keep the back heel lifted. As we inhale, lifting arms up overhead, and we'll be holding here for just a bit. Really trying to ground down into the front foot in all four corners, but keeping the back heel lifted. Reaching up through the fingertips, through the top of the head, but allowing the shoulders to release down. And as we exhale, if you want to take the rotation, hands come on top of the chair, rotate at the waist. Gazing over the back shoulder. As we exhale, coming back to center. And then bringing the back foot forward, coming towards the front of the chair. And we'll take our feet out nice and wide. So start by just taking the feet out a little bit more than hip distance apart. And then rotating the right toes towards the right hand side, seeing if we can open up that leg a little bit. And then taking the left foot out to the side with the toes pointing forward. Try to rotate the hips back. And doing your best to keep your knee above the ankle. So it's okay if it's more like this, but what we don't want is it to be something like that. So we want to keep our joints safe. Trying to rotate the hips back, rotate the thighs back. Taking the gaze over the shoulders, we extend the arms. And again, just trying to stay with our breath. So noticing the inhales and the exhales as they come in and out of the body. And gently releasing the arms down, and we'll get the opposite side. So starting by just bringing the feet a little closer together, but keeping the knees and feet out wide, and readjusting for the opposite side. Allowing the left toes to rotate towards the left hand side, taking the opposite leg, reaching it out wide, having the toes facing forward. And then bring arms up to shoulder level, our warrior two. Keep rotating the hips back. And as we exhale, allowing the hands to come down towards the earth, bringing the feet back together. And so we'll rotate towards the right-hand side of the chair one more time. And this time, keeping the feet and knees just a little closer together. And you may or may not want your strap nearby, but just knowing that we may use it. So as we ground down into the left foot, as we inhale, bring the right knee in towards chest. And as we bring it in, there might be a tendency to start to round. We want to keep the spine tall, bring the knee in as high as we can, and gazing forward, allowing the shoulders to release down. I have my hands around my shin, but if you need them underneath the hamstring, that's totally fine. So whatever works for you today. And as we exhale, releasing the foot down, I'll demonstrate with the strap and without the strap for our next one. So now we'll ground down into our right foot, and we'll take the left knee, start to point it down towards the earth, and you'll take the strap, placing it around the ankle if you're going to use a strap. As we get ground down into our right foot, lifting the left heel up with the strap, trying to bring it as close as we can towards our glutes, keeping the knee pointing down. And then without the strap, we're just reaching for the foot. You can use the back of the chair if you need a little more support. And as we exhale, release. Let's switch to the opposite side, using your strap if you need it. If you don't, that's fine too. So grounding down into the foot, that's kind of like the front foot, the foot closest to me. And as we inhale, bringing the knee in towards chest, sitting up nice and tall. Hands can go around the front of the shin or underneath the hamstring. Gazing forward. And as we exhale, releasing the foot down. If you need the strap for this one, go ahead and grab your strap. Otherwise, allowing the knee to start to point downward. Reaching for the ankle. And try to bring the heel as close as you can towards the glute. Gazing forward. Trying to sit up nice and tall. And as we exhale, releasing the foot gently down towards the floor. And coming back to center. So just one more, actually two more postures before we wrap up. Take the right ankle and place it on top of the left thigh, allowing the outside of the leg to rotate down towards the earth, lengthening through the spine, and exhale, gently fold forward at the waist. And for some of us, or even just depending on the day, folding forward might be a little challenging. So you can always just keep the torso up. As long as you feel this in the hips and the outside maybe of the glutes, you're doing great. Next, inhale, lifting back up, releasing the foot down, and then opposite side, bringing the ankle on top of the thigh, rotate the outside of the leg down, lifting up through the top of the head, and exhale, fold forward. Maybe noticing where you feel this in the body and how one side might be a little different or the same. Next, inhale, lifting back up, releasing the foot down, and then pressing our feet into the floor or on top of our blocks. We'll take both arms up towards the sky, lifting through the spine, rotate at the waist towards the right hand side, allowing the left hand to come down towards the right knee, just rotating at the waist. As we exhale, coming back to center, opposite side, inhale, lifting, exhale, rotate at the waist. Trying to keep the feet grounded into the earth, spine is tall but rotated. Exhaling back to center. So we'll spend just a little bit of time in Shavasana. And for Shavasana, we don't have to sit super upright like we have during class, just finding a comfortable posture. And I think of it as just kind of like how you'd be chilling at home. So maybe allowing the shoulders to release towards the back of the chair. The legs might even be extended a little bit more. And then the chin can be wherever. So it could be facing forward, maybe chin towards the chest with a gentle bow. Just taking a few moments here. And as you're ready, gently beginning to flutter the eyes open, taking a soft gaze, sitting a little more upright. And let's take 3 breaths together to end our practice. Taking the right hand to the heart and the left hand towards the belly. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing the hands into prayer. May you be happy, may you be well, may you be at peace, and may you be at ease. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.